Jungkook's song breaks every Spotify record, a new era begins. Hello fans. What does it take to rewrite the rules of music? Millions try. Only a few succeed. But what Jungkook did, it wasn't just success. It was something else. It was seismic. It was history. The boy who sang before he spoke. Long before his name dominated streaming platforms. Before the world screamed for him. Before Spotify playlists across continents bowed to a single voice. There was just a boy from Busan. Quiet. Observant. In love with music. Jungkook. Born in 1997, Jungkook didn't set out to be the biggest solo K-pop artist on earth. He didn't dream of statistics. He didn't plan for records. All he wanted was to express what words couldn't. His journey began as the youngest member of BTS, a group that would go on to change the very landscape of global pop music. But even in the massive orbit of BTS, something about Jungkook quietly pulled the world in. His voice, his movement, his eyes that carried unsaid stories. He was never just the golden magnet. He was something more. The moment the world shifted, 7. Fast forward to July 14, 2023. A day that started like any other, but ended with the world shaken. That was the day Jungkook released his solo single, 7. A pop/R&B track infused with UK garage energy and subtle intimacy. The song was catchy, sexy, and sophisticated. But no one expected what happened next. Within 24 hours, 7 surpassed 15 million streams on Spotify. The highest debut ever for a solo K-pop artist. A number previously thought unreachable for a non-Western artist. Suddenly, Jungkook wasn't just part of BTS anymore. He was a global solo force, standing tall, confident, and undeniable. Domino effect, the records begin to crumble. After a 7, the world braced itself. And then came the storm. Each release from Jungkook wasn't just a hit. It was a cultural event. 3D exploded with a retro-futuristic vibe, featuring Jack Harlow. Standing Next to You oozed smooth soul with MJ-level charisma. Yes or No, Too Sad to Dance, and other B-sides added layers to his artistry. Spotify couldn't keep up. Every song entered the global top 50, sometimes within hours. Jungkook was no longer breaking into the global market. He was dominating it. The records, one by one, they fell. Then came the headline no one thought possible. Jungkook is now the most streamed K-pop soloist in Spotify history. Over 3 billion total streams on Spotify without a full solo tour. Without an English language album. While he was enlisted in the military. Let's break it down. Fastest K-pop soloist to reach 1 billion streams. 7 became the first K-pop solo track to top Spotify Global for 7 days straight. Most streamed K-pop solo debut song of all time. First K-pop male soloist to chart multiple solo tracks in Spotify's top 10 global simultaneously. Standing Next to You entered viral charts in over 90 countries. All this with minimal Western media appearances. No gimmicks. No scandals. Just music. The world responds, armies, artists, and industry giants. The numbers were undeniable. But the response, that was something else. Armies didn't just celebrate, they mobilized. Streaming parties, fan-led campaigns, billboards in Times Square, light displays in Dubai, digital takeovers across social media. Hashtags like #Spotify King Jungkook and #Jungkook Makes History trended worldwide for days. And they weren't alone. Global artists began to take notice. Justin Timberlake called him an unstoppable force. Charlie Puth publicly congratulated him. Even industry veterans like Timbaland praised his rhythm and tone. Spotify themselves featured him across global campaigns, placing his face alongside Taylor Swift, Drake, and Ed Sheeran. And for the first time in K-pop history, a Korean solo artist owned the algorithm. The secret behind the streams, why Jungkook? Why him? How did a boy from a small agency in Korea rise to become a global music juggernaut? Here's the secret. authenticity. Jungkook doesn't perform to please. He performs to connect. His voice isn't just trained, it's felt. His dances aren't just moves, they are memories in motion. In a world filled with auto-tune perfection and polished PR packages, Jungkook's honesty is a revolution. He shows up with bad hair in weavers' lives. He talks about anxiety and doubt. He tears up while thanking fans, not for clout, but from genuine gratitude. And that's why the world listens. That's why Spotify records weren't just broken, they were obliterated. The larger impact, the new world order in music. Jungkook's rise on Spotify doesn't just signify his success. It signals a shift in the global music power dynamic. For decades, Western artists dominated streaming. Now, a Korean soloist, singing partly in Korean, holds multiple global records. What does that mean? It means language is no longer a barrier. It means borders don't define music anymore. It means the next generation of artists, from any country, any culture, can dream without limits. Jungkook didn't just succeed for himself. He broke the ceiling for everyone after him. While he serves, his music reigns. As of now, Jungkook is completing his mandatory military service. He hasn't posted much. He hasn't gone on shows. He's serving his country quietly. But his music has never been louder. Streaming numbers continue to grow. New fans discover him daily. Music critics revisit his discography and find brilliance they once overlooked. Even in silence, Jungkook speaks volumes. What's next? Now the question looms. What happens when he returns? Will there be a world tour? A full solo album? A global collaboration? A Grammy campaign? Or something entirely unexpected? No one knows for sure. But one thing is certain. The world is no longer watching Jungkook. The world is waiting for him. Conclusion: the boy who became a voice for the world. When Spotify published the statement, Jungkook has officially made history as the most streamed K-pop soloist ever. It wasn't just a metric. It was a milestone in music history. Because behind every stream was someone healing, smiling, feeling seen, feeling loved. And that is what makes Jungkook more than a star. It makes him a legacy. He didn't chase the world. The world came to him. Not because he shouted louder, but because his voice finally made the world quiet enough to listen.